Today in Rome, Pope Francis is opening the Synod on the family, and there's great speculation of what might come from that. One thing which is certainly particular to this Synod, or this gathering, is the way that Pope Francis has tried to find people's opinions from all over the world, for the people in the Church right across the world. And that is new. Right from the beginning, since Jesus founded the Church, it has always been our belief that the Church will not go wrong, that is guided by God in matters of belief, that we believe Jesus was God, that we believe Jesus was man. The things we believe, the Holy Spirit will guide us, and what is right and wrong. Moral questions. There may be terrible people in the Church itself may be sinful, may behave very badly, but what we believe and know, the Holy Spirit will guide us when the whole Church believes it. But what do you mean by the whole Church? Over the ages, almost from the beginning, when all the apostles were together, or all the bishops came together, representing the people, so if all the bishops came together in one place, that represented the Church, and what they believe as a body, the Holy Spirit will guide. Then in the 19th century, great stress was put on the position of the Pope. It always believed that the Pope was a special position, as St. Peter was. And so if the Pope was teaching a thing, the Holy Spirit will guide, if it's really to the whole Church. And we had this unfortunate expression they use of the infallibility of the Pope. And then 100 years later, the Second Vatican Council, the stress was put on not just the Pope, but all the bishops coming together, because they could travel much more easily now. You could bring all the bishops together in the Vatican Council. And we believe that they are guided by the Holy Spirit when something is promulgated and accepted like that. And now, 50 years later, the stress on the whole Church believing has been made possible by modern communications. Up to now, it hasn't been possible to ask people right across the world. And so, all over the world, in villages, towns, cathedrals, learned people and poor people have been telling the Pope what they think. And now we're trying to say, in what direction is the Church going? Of course, everyone fastens on the negative things of the family. I looked on the headline in the BBC this morning, and it said that the main things will be homosexuality, abortion, divorce. But it's natural that we think, because those things make the news. But Pope Francis has made it clear, no, let's see the value of the family. What is the great wonder of the family, what we gain from being in a family. And I think it's an occasion for us when we have to really reflect what family life has meant to us, the positive values of it. You learn to love in a family by being loved. You learn living together, tolerance, helping each other. It just grows as part of you. That we could take for granted. A child who grows up not knowing the love of a family can often really not appreciate the love of God. When somebody really knows you through and through, how silly you are and all the mad things about you, and still thinks the world of you, when you're loved like that, then you learn to love and be loved, and you feel, yes, Perhaps God does love me because someone else can. God thinks the world of me. Or in a family, creating a child. The birth of a child is always something miraculous, but when you think that a man and woman create the child, it's not that God does the spiritual part. I know God creates us all, God creates the child, but it's through the mother and father that God creates a human being. It's the most extraordinary thing. And the child isn't formed just when he's born. It takes a whole lifetime to create a person, but most of all in those early years. When a child develops, first of all, mine. He wants to have things. My cup, my teddy bear, my blanket. And that's right. A child gets his self-identity, but often with things he possesses. But then the stage comes when he can give it away. And he will give things to his mother or father or brother and sister to get their love, earn their love. But then after that, it grows more, so you just want to give, not for what you will get from it. You love people and you will give to them. A deprived child often won't get beyond the second stage. If you take some children out to completely deprived and you buy a pizza or something, or they take some home to mummy because they need to earn the love. Afraid a healthy child probably just scoff the lot. They know they're loved. And we grow in this way of loving. Do you remember, if you've seen it, the musical Fiddler on the Roof? There's a lovely song early on where a couple fall in love. Wonder of wonders, miracle of miracles. I won't sing it to you, but it's a wonderful song. And the wonders of miracles, they go through the Old Testament, how they crossed the Red Sea, the Dead Sea, they were fed with in the desert, and the Lord looked after them, all these wonderful things. But miracle of miracles, you love me. And when you've fallen in love and someone's fallen in love with you, you know what they mean. Really loved. Now, later on, there's another song, Top Off, their father, and his old wife. They're not all that old, but probably an arranged marriage originally. And he says to her, do you love me? And she says, what? Do you love me? Do I what? Do I love you? And then the song, for 21 years I've borne your children, I've cleaned your house, I've taught you. I suppose I do. It becomes part of you. Total giving to the other person. Not long looking for their affection, wanting it, but no. A woman said to me a little while ago, rather an excitable lady, but that's nothing to do with it. Her husband was in bed with enormous pain in his back, in really great agony. And she said to me, if only I could have the pain instead of him. There's love. She just wanted what was good for him. We grow in love, and this is within the family. And I think at this time of the Synod, it's worth not seeing the difficulties, the problems, the negatives, but just recall the blessings you have received. A newborn baby, do you give more to the child than the child gives to you? Just see what has happened. I am the person I am because of the people who have loved me. I learned love within a family. And that is how we grow. And that is why we need a synod on a family to see the value and the blessings of it. Not denying difficulty, There is difficulty, but think if you're divorced and remarried, okay, but still think of the family you have now, the person you're with now. Or if you're not married, the people you live with, or work with, how you grow in love of them. Oh, there will be difficulty, obviously, there will be hurt. It's a bit like the wedding ring you wear. That's so precious. If you stay at a hotel, they say put your valuables in the safe, but you don't put your wedding ring in the safe, you wear it. When you're working, when you're playing, it gets knocked around. And that makes it shine. And a hurt which can come between you, it may come from money or illness or misunderstanding. That can make it shine, though at the time it won't feel like it. But marriage is a sacrament. And even for those who are not religious, there is the sacrament of God touching us. Let the power of God work. The family is such a gift. Let it not be dominated by the problems and the difficulties, so that we don't thank God for the wonder that He's given us. May God bless you and your family, and not just the immediate family, but your friends and those who have made you able to love and be loved. God bless you all.